Yeah, Ezra. So, look, I can't believe it's already the end of the week. Friday evening here in Israel. The Shabbat's about to come in. And, I can't believe we've been here on the ground in the front line for almost, 2.5 weeks. And we've seen a lot. The last 24 hours has not been any calmer. In fact, we've packed it in. We've gone to, some of the sites we'll take him to with by Danny Danan, a Knesset member, and used to be the UN representative for Israel, who took us to the site of the Be'eri Nova massacre, to Kfar Aza, which was the kibbutz where again they went house to house butchering people. And we heard from, in fact, the interesting part there is that's where I served 18 years ago. That's where I was deployed. Most of my service was in Kfar Aza. I didn't recognize the place. And he showed us, the colonel showed us, took us into a house, showed us how once the family locked themselves into the safe rooms, which you could see clearly, the only room that wasn't burnt was the safe rooms. And they couldn't get them out. They couldn't open the doors. They just burnt down the houses, trying to kill everybody in their path. It's
by feet. They murder, torture, rape, and even took off the heads of babies and of our soldiers. What stopped this attack? All the civilian armed in this settlement, the head of the settlement, like a really leader, go first. After this, the army and the police arrived here, and together with the civilian, stopped this horrible attack. After they came and killed all the family or shoot on everyone, women, little children, old men, the family gets inside the safety room and lock himself inside. The terrorists from Hamas burned the house. If you can see, you see that the safe house, the safe room, is normal. You don't see the fire inside. The civilian and the army and the police came after this, can arrive to the window and get outside each family very, very slowly. Because in this street that you see here, guns fights, missile, grenades, and it's not 1 hour. It's a really war. 48 hours in this street, you have a big mess. But with the bravery, they was very brave, the civilian, the police, the army, to stop this.
Eerie walking around those streets and hearing the stories and hearing it from the people that were on the front line from the beginning. The colonel that spoke to me, he gave me so much of his time, and he told me off camera the reason why I'm doing this. I never told. He actually said to me, I've my whole military career, which has been in the army for about 30 years, he's always avoided the cameras. But he said that it's come to a point now, something that he's never witnessed in his life, that he realized that part of his job, so his first job initially, in the initial hours, he tells us that within two and a half to 3 hours of the attack, so at about 8:30 or 9 a.m., he was already on the ground fighting the terrorists, the 3,000 terrorists that had entered Israel.
In one house, I found the father out from the room, and the family was inside, waiting to us. The father was out with a gun. All the magazine is over, and in the other hand, have a knife. This is a father who rescued his family, and this is the bravery of Israel.
And he said after they reclaimed the land and killed or captured the terrorists, and closed the border off. Then, of course, securing the border was important, but then he realized a part of his job was to ensure that the world knows what happened there, because he said, a bit like the Holocaust, people try to deny these things and minimize it or whatever, and it's important for the world to know what he saw. He says no video, no images, no nothing can actually illustrate the horrors that he personally witnessed. So, he's obviously on the front line fighting the battle, but also part of his fight, he says, is to take media and media with reach around. It doesn't matter which network, anyone that's willing to come out there, that seems like they're actually in good faith, want to know what really happened. He's taken the time out of his day to do it, and he was just so humble about it, and you could see on his face what responding to the attacks did on those days to him personally.
I need to explain this photo. I know what my eyes saw.
How soon after the attack were you here?
I arrived to 8:30 in the morning.
So
9.
2.5 hours after it started. And what did you see for yourself?
I see what I need to do. I see my job.
We also spoke to Danny Danan, who reacted to the announcement from the Australian government that they're giving another $15 million to the West Bank and Palestinian territory. What they say is to people affected by this conflict. They say they're doing it through trusted partners. I put that to Danny Danan. He basically responds by saying, as long as you can verify that it's not going to Hamas, because we know for years Hamas has been using the international aid not to build hospitals, not to build schools, not to help the people of Gaza, but rather to build tunnels and rockets and weaponry to fight and terrorize their neighbors. So he had that message for them. We also, you have to think, we had to travel there in bulletproof vehicles. It was quite intense into a really closed military zone. Most of our trip here has been inside closed military zones, which you have to be pressed to be in there, or one of the few locals that refuse to leave. But in Be'eri and Kfar Aza and those places where those massacres really annihilated entire towns, they're closed, and they're active kind of war zones still now. So, we were really grateful to be able to go there and see it firsthand and share those stories with the audience at thetruthaboutthewar.com. Where else did we go, Benji? I'm trying to remember. So much happened in the last 24 hours. So we also got to speak to Special Forces police officer that responded to the attacks initially in Sderot.
Unit, and actually we react to different terroristic events that happens, and that's our job.
So did you react to the attacks on October 7?
Correctly. On 6:30 in the morning, we got a message that we need to go quick as much as we can to Sderot, because we got information about the invasion of many terrorists over there. And actually, when we started to drive to Sderot, next to Yad Mordechai, we got shot 2 times by RPG, and thanks God they missed us. After some fire that we were conducting over there, we started to move to Sderot, because we got information by the radio that the different policemen are asking for help, because they tried to invade inside the police station. And actually we arrived over here. There were like around 20 terrorists running over this road, and we started to conduct fire with them. It was really hard. I saw one of them, he tried to shoot RPG on me, and I shot him, I killed him.
Soldiers, colonels, so higher leadership plus actual younger soldiers. That's right. We spoke to a few soldiers on base yesterday, a couple of soldiers on base who were prepared to go in, and they were so well articulated in the way they're the kind of faces that the media refuses to show. It dispels the whole myth of what the IDF soldier is that the mainstream media paints them as.
So as somebody who did 3 years, made Aliyah from a different country, somebody who's married, I have a whole lot of stuff going on in my life, a lot of different priorities. The guys who are in Miluim, guys who have families, guys who have been here, been there, want to go to war, don't want to go to war, civilians who were called up. People have a lot of stuff to live for, a lot of things on their mind. This is a war, this is an initiative that has just united everybody in a way that I've never seen. Never seen, not in the Jewish people, not in the land of Israel, not in the military, nowhere. So you want to ask about morale. There's nothing people want more than to just go in there and not kill, not avenge, not bloodthirsty, to just get some justice done, to really just erase this threat, bring peace to southern Israel, which has been for so long. It's about time. People could live in peace and they could play basketball on their front lawn and they can play with their kids on a Saturday afternoon and not worry about people coming in and slaughtering, 50% of their community. That's something that really unites everybody. And even though it's been 3 weeks and we've been pushed off, we've had plans that have been, canceled and rescheduled again and again and again, and I'm sure there still will be. People are with a smile, even if it's an internal smile sometimes, ready to go in and just completely charged and ready to go.
And me personally, I try to lift up the avirah, like the vibes, because it is hard times, but it doesn't mean, we're Am Yisrael, we have to always be strong and keep going.
It's important for the world to hear from those that are actually putting their lives on the line to defend their family, their community, and their border. Make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, share it far and wide, because the mainstream media are trying to paint these people as some sort of moral equivalents to the Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists. These guys just want to protect their people. So it's up to you guys to let the world know. And then head over to thetruthaboutthewar.com. Make sure to share all the stories there. And then if you believe in our mission, please consider chipping in. Thetruthaboutthewar.com help cover the costs for our important mission.